Good morning, crafty friends. Today I'm going to be showing you how I created the little flowers on my card on today's post. And here's the card, the finished card. And these are the flowers. They came from the Cricut Artiste cartridge. And let's get started. So, alright, to get started, we need to cut 5 flowers. And the flowers can be found, let me look at my notes here. The flowers can be found on page 54 of your Cricut Artiste handbook. You need to cut 2 of them at 1 inch and 3 of them at 1 1/4 inch. Probably might be kind of hard to see these, but here's the 2 little 1 inchers. And then you have 3 more that are at 1 1/4 inch. Once you've cut them out, and I cut them out in white because I want to do a little bit of inking technique on them. Okay. Alright, so here's my 5 petals. I'm going to take my sponge, which you get this in your new consultant kit if you choose to sign up, and I just cut mine into like 8 little pie wedges. And I'm taking my blush ink, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to ink right on there by just doing a dabbing motion. And with the little ones, you want to be able to go ahead and do both sides, because when you create the flower, you're going to be pulling those petals up, so you're going to be seeing both sides. And I'll do the same thing with the larger ones. And that last one, you really don't need to do both sides. One side of the last one, or what will be your bottom petal, inking that side, that top side is just fine. With these others, I will also go ahead and use the brushing technique where I actually brush right on to the edge. That way it has a darker look. I like to do this with a lot of the flowers because it makes them look more realistic, because it's not flat and just one solid color. Okay, so these that I'm brushing are going to be my face up layer. Again, I'm just going to dab this on the back, just in case any of the petals curl up. It doesn't look flat white. Okay. And with this one, I'll go ahead and make it nice and dark. On the edges again, brushing. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here with this white backdrop. Okay. So now we're done with that. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our scissors and we're just going to snip the petals. Going towards the center, just snip right into the center. Not all the way though, because you want to be able to not have your flower petal cut in half. So you want to see, you see that? It's just so that the petals can bend up. Let me go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see this a little bit better. Okay, you see that? See how those, it allows the petals to bend forward a little bit more. Okay, so you're going to do that. You're going to do that on 4 of your petals, or 4 of the layers. The last one's really not too necessary. Okay. And once you get this technique down, oops, sorry about that, I zoomed in. Once you get this technique down, it goes really fast. Okay, and then this one will stay just like it is. Okay, now the next step is to take something that has a round circumference, pen, any of your tools that you have that has a nice round surface. So like in my case here, I have a dowel rod. Oops, let's back up a little bit so you can see it. It's just a dowel rod. You could use like a thin barreled colored pencil or anything that you have on hand. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start by taking my smaller petal and I'm going to place my circular item, whether it's the pencil or whatever, into the center, and I'm just going to go ahead and take it and take one of the petals and push it up and pinch it around my dowel or around the body of, see that? We're just taking it and pinching it around. So you do want to have something a little bit thinner than like a normal size pencil. Of course, a normal size pencil isn't a smooth round. See, and I'm just pinching it. Okay, and that's just so that you can get your petals to curl. Okay, now I can remove that and look at the way those petals just kind of curl right up into each other. See that? Just like that. And that will be the center of your flower. Now you can use some glue to kind of hold the little petals in place. I've got some hot glue off to the side. And you can just pinch it shut. See that? And you can just spread it around. No one's gonna see that bottom part, so you can just spread it around and it'll kind of help keep those closed. Okay, now while that glue is still pliable, go ahead and stick that right into the center of the second petal. And you're going to want to make sure that your petals are staggered, meaning this petal is in between these two next petals. This petal's in between these two next petals. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to just push those petals up, and then you're going to go ahead and curl them gently. And what I mean by curling them is just getting them to shape around the other petals. And you'll have to pinch them up just a little bit. Okay. Alright, and that's your next layer. So we're going to go ahead and continue doing the same technique. Dab of glue. Probably should back out here. I put a dab of glue in the center, and once again, I'm going to go ahead and place that right in the middle. Hot glue seems to work really well for this because it helps hold the whole body together while you're working with it. Okay, and then once again I'm doing the same thing. I'm pinching. I'm pinching those petals together and just forming that circle. Okay, I'm going to go to the next one. Just making sure that your petals are staggered. Set that right there in the center. And then once again, take those layers and pinch them going up. Squeeze and pinch. Okay, and then my last layer. And once again, you're pinching up. Okay, at this point you could leave your flower just like that. But to kind of give it a realistic look, I will go ahead and I will take my dowel rod, or again, whatever you have that's nice and thin, and I will just kind of curl some of the petals back on the edges. See, I'm taking my dowel rod and just curling some of the petals back. Now if you wanted your flower to stay tight like this, then as you're adding the layers, you can always add a little dab of glue on the petals themselves at the bottoms to keep them kind of closed in. But if you want your flower to be more open-faced, then you can do what I did and just add your layers, and the paper will kind of naturally relax a little bit. And there you go. There's your flower. And so then I just went ahead and added them to my card. The nice thing about doing them in white and then adding your ink is that you can go ahead and you can coordinate your flowers perfectly. If you don't have a flower that matches the color of your color scheme of your project in your stash, then this is a great alternative. So now I hope you'll go out there and make a bunch of flowers. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to visit me on my blog at mypapercrafting.com.